Hi YouTube. I recently purchased the Garmin Edge 1030, and when I was looking at computers to buy for my bike, I also looked at the Hammerhead Karoo and the Wahoo Elemnt Roam. Now I have very specific navigation needs. Neither one of these seemed to do what I needed. So the only thing I liked about each of these better than the Garmin Edge 1030 was they have buttons. So the Hammerhead Karoo has a couple buttons here and a couple buttons along this side, and it also has a touchscreen. The maps on it look beautiful. It looks like it does almost everything the 1030 does, but not quite. The Elemnt Roam only uses buttons, no touchscreen. Everything you do, including setting up screens, has to be done through your phone. For me, that disqualifies this totally. The Hammerhead was out because you can't have maps of the entire United States loaded at one time. So the hammerhead.io website has a great video comparing all three units, and I encourage you to watch that if you're considering these. One major reason I bought the 1030 was they had a price drop for a while down to $399, and I don't know why it's back up to $599. And you can still, on Trek's website, trekbikes.com, they still have the 1030 for $399, so hurry up if you want to get one of these. Buy it soon, or who knows, it might go back up. The alternative is the 830, which is $399, and I believe the only difference between it and the 1030 really is the size of the screen. And some people might not actually like the larger screen of this. It doesn't fit as well on a mountain bike as the 830 would. This one is touchscreen only, which is not great if you're using gloves. This one is touch and button. This one is button only. The buttons work way better with gloves. This does not work well with gloves. The hammerhead.io website has a great comparison between the Garmin 1030, the Wahoo Elemnt Roam, the Wahoo Elemnt Bolt, and the iPhone, if you're going to really use your iPhone. But the Elemnt Bolt is a cheap, inexpensive unit that does not really have mapping and routing. The Elemnt Roam does have the mapping, but a lot of it has to be done through your phone. The Garmin Edge 1030 does everything on the computer itself. This Karoo still needs a lot of help from your phone or Wi-Fi, or you can put a SIM card in the Karoo, and if you have a data plan, which who wants to pay for that, you can do a lot of stuff directly on the unit. So anyway, when that went to $399, I said, I gotta buy it. But before I did, I went and checked out both of these units, and I couldn't figure out from their website whether or not they could do what I wanted or not. So I asked questions of both companies, and both companies wrote me back very nice, detailed responses, which sometimes I could understand and sometimes I couldn't. So as I said before, one of the things I like to do is download somebody else's ride, usually a mountain bike ride, and then I like to navigate to the trailhead using my Garmin Edge bike computer, and I create a car mode which allows me to drive on highways, so it's more efficient to get to the trailhead using my car. If I have a bike thing in there, it won't take the Mass Pike, for example, but if I use a car profile, it will take the Mass Pikes. I asked, does the Roam or the Karoo have options to avoid highways, dirt roads, ferries, etc.? And the Roam lets you select a type of bike, road, hybrid, or mountain bike, and that changes the surface types available. So I assume road would just be pavement. I don't know if it would be highways or not. They didn't tell me. I assume this would be pavement and dirt roads, and I assume this would be pavement, dirt roads, and trails. The Karoo has an option to plot waypoints to avoid highways. So apparently if you're making up a route, the only way to avoid highways or dirt roads or whatever you wanted to avoid would be to actually create the route that way. Neither one of these could do this as far as I could tell. Then another thing I do is if I'm not at the start of the trail and I don't know how to get to the start of the trail, I let my computer guide me there, my bike computer. When I choose follow a route, it says, do you want to navigate to the beginning? And I'll say yes. Sometimes I'm riding my bike there, sometimes I'm taking the car. So I'll choose different profiles based on what I'm doing. The Elemnt Roam does have a feature called Get Me Started, which I guess will accomplish this and give me turn-by-turn directions to the starting point of my route. So it sounds like it can do it. I'd be surprised if it actually can do it without having your phone tied to it. The Karoo said the navigation only works pretty much with the route that you have loaded. You do have offline maps downloaded to your unit, which can always navigate you to the start point. So maybe these can do that. I'm not exactly sure. So here's what I said earlier. I sometimes drive my car to a starting point for a ride, and what I want to do is put it in car mode while I'm driving there with the bikes on the car. I want it to take highways and toll roads, and maybe I do want to avoid dirt roads if I'm in my car. But when I get there, I want to switch to bike mode and follow trails, and definitely avoid highways, toll roads, etc. So the Elemnt Roam does not offer any way to do that. Hammerhead Karoo does not offer any way to do that. One thing I do like on the Garmin Edge is you can go to street addresses, you can go to points of interest, you can go anywhere you want, really, just a city. It's very, very flexible, and you don't need to be connected to your phone, you don't need to be connected to Wi-Fi or cellular data or anything like that. On the Elemnt Roam, if you want to go to a specific address like 123 Main Street, Boston, Mass, you do that on your phone using their app. And it uses cell data. And then that route will get downloaded to your Roam and you can follow it. So that you have to have your phone in order to navigate using your Elemnt. The Karoo says you can search on the dashboard and create a route to your destination. This option is only available if you have an active internet connection. Now, the Karoo can take a SIM card, which would mean you'd have a data plan, or you can tether it to your phone. Not ideal. With the Garmin Edge computers, you don't need cell data, you don't need your phone. I've actually used my Garmin Edge to get me out of trouble. When I was navigating with my phone up in New Hampshire, I lost cell signal, took a wrong turn, and then Waze app couldn't recover. I had no cell signal, so the only way I could get back on course was to enter an address into my Garmin Edge 1030 and use it for navigation in my car. What I wanted to know was if you could scroll around the map and go to a specific point. The Elemnt Roam guy said you can route to a point on the map just using the Roam. So that's good. I kind of wonder if that's true. And on the Karoo, you have the option to choose the map and select the destination by creating a route. It is only possible if you have an internet connection. I have a feeling the Elemnt needs your phone, and this needs either your phone or a SIM card. Both of these upload rides to their own servers and then can be tied directly to Strava. Very similar to how the Garmin Edges work, where you upload to Garmin Connect and then you tie Garmin Connect to your Strava account. So here's the big thing that I didn't like about either one of these computers is their maps. The Elemnt Roam, I asked what maps are on the Elemnt Roam, and it says their maps are based on OpenStreetMaps and are freely updatable via Wi-Fi, controlled through the app, your phone, at no cost, which is fine, but it doesn't tell me what do I have. On my Garmin Edge 1030, I have the entire, I believe it's North America, the entire United States, and Canada and Alaska, all on my Garmin Edge 1030. And I don't have to mess around with downloading segments. On the Hammerhead Karoo, it is also based on OpenStreetMaps, and the entire world is available for free download. You can actually download additional maps to your Garmin Edge 1030, and I do have a video on how to do that. I'll put a link to that in the description. The Karoo only has 9 gigabytes available for maps, and the whole United States takes up 19 gigabytes. I go everywhere in between North Carolina and Maine. So I might be riding in Virginia one day. I might be riding in, South Carolina too, I've gone to. And I don't want to be switching in and out maps, but it looks like with the Karoo, you definitely have to. I don't know what comes installed on the Elemnt Roam, but if it's the whole United States, that would be awesome. If it's not, I don't want to deal with it. Garmin Edge 1030 maps update automatically via Garmin Express. All I have to do is go to sync. I could reinstall the map here. I could sync it up. That's not going to sync the map because the map hasn't changed. It's as simple as plugging your Edge into the computer and saying sync. the next thing I asked was, I have a bunch of bikes. They all have bike mounts. They're all Garmin bike mounts. So I asked, is your bike mount compatible with Garmin? And nope. The Elemnt chose to make one that's 90 degrees off, and the tabs are slightly different, and breakage is a risk if you attempt to use them together. I would have to buy all new mounts for Element Roam. Now, the Karoo wrote and said, we currently ship out front handlebar mount in the package. You can check out options for aero mounts here, which are compatible aero non-standard handlebar mounts. So I'm not exactly sure, but it kind of sounds like it might be compatible with Garmin, but I'm not sure. Sometimes I go canoeing, and when you're canoeing and you're out on a body of water, if I've created a route to follow on the water, it's very hard to stay on that route. With my Garmin Edge, it will beep all the time telling me I'm off course, off course, off course. So what I asked these people was, can I create a route and then not follow it? Just have it show up on the screen in a different color. And the answer was, for the Roam, no. For the Karoo, I don't think he understood my question, maybe. He said, in this, you can always pause the ride, go free ride, and get back on the planned path. I don't want to pause the ride. I want to accumulate the entire ride and upload it to Strava. Just have it be a canoe activity. That does not sound like it works. So anyway, that's why I went with the Garmin Edge 1030 and thought you might be interested. Thanks for watching.